Is Google search dead? No, for real this time. Is Google search dead? I'm going to go through a couple of key points really quickly to help you understand if the opportunity on Google is fading and where you can get that SEO results, that free traffic, and what you can do about it moving forward. This is the 11th hour in search engine marketing, and if you're not going to capture the next opportunity, you're likely going to fall far behind. So let's go through a couple of things to understand what's happening. Today I was talking to the CEO of Zima Media, and in our discussion, we have theorized in the last 5 years, starting in 2019, going to 2020, we saw a big boost in work from home and a big boost in traffic, and we might start seeing a resetting of the mean. And I will show you the canary in the gold mine and what I mean shortly. So it's very possible that we could be resetting and going backwards. Now, one of the things that I've been reporting upon in this channel is we've been seeing a lot of websites hit by the helpful content update. Some SEOs have even speculated that Google has rolled it back in newer updates because they were so aggressive that actually hurt the results and made the results even poorer. That could be possible as well. There could be some variables in terms of the technical on the Google side of things that they have to rectify in order to restore the results. What's happening with John Mueller? John Mueller is the equivalent of our SEO Jesus. He is from Google. He works in a closet somewhere in Switzerland, helping Google and the search engines really determine if that dress is really blue or gold. Now, John Mueller is an advocate of a balanced SEO approach. And he came out and said too much optimization can be detrimental. And one of the things he says, you have to optimize the importance of creating content for users and not for search engines. Us SEOs repeat after John like a parrot. And he also suggested in some cases that not doing SEO might make things worse. Essentially, if you're doing SEO on your website and it's poorly executed, such as AI generated SEO that you copy and paste on your website, hoping for results to come is likely harming you in the end. So what happened with Zima Media? I think a couple of these factors that we've already mentioned have hit us. What we ended up doing is we removed our CDNs and we brought back a lot of old pages that were performing very well because we wanted to get really narrow, but Google liked a lot of what we did. This happens all the time with businesses. You basically just kneecap yourself and your results just go down and they never come back. This is very common, and it's why you should not put all of your eggs into the SEO basket, because if this ever happens and your results were cut in half and that's your bread and butter, well, you might have to make some really hard business decisions. And John was giving us more false positives or false hopes that we already know, according to the Google leaks, is a nothing burger that you can see in this video right here. John is basically giving us the same sort of information that really lead SEOs to nowhere. And if we listen to his information, we're finding out you can be in a very bad position that we saw with this canary in the gold mine, which I'll show you in a moment. So what's the current trend right now? Current trend is indicating SEO might be dead. We're seeing zero-click searches and AI searches. So for instance, sometimes Gemini, if you're using it, if you haven't figured out what ChatGPT is, gives you answers directly instead of going to a search engine. And this is likely reducing the click-through rate to those websites because you're getting that general information on a web page and you can move out with your life and buy groceries. Now, the declining search result traffic. Now, here is HubSpot. This is a notable decrease in organic traffic from some sites, as seen with HubSpot, which suggests users are getting answers without navigating away from AI search engine. This is huge because HubSpot is a leader in marketing. They have their own program, their certification. They have a very robust tool, an ecosystem of developers and users and partners. They're huge, okay? They're like the Google in the marketing world, so to speak. And if HubSpot is seeing this sort of massive decline, it could be returning to the mean of where we were at in 2019, which isn't likely because they had really good content and they had teams of content writers executing this nonstop. Could it be competitors coming up and trying to take their traffic away? Well, really, there aren't too many competitors there because they're all competing for the same general informational support articles. How many articles are online for any particular search result? If you find Google how to tie my shoes, I'm sure you're going to get 2 billion results. The world doesn't need another article on how to tie your shoes. Behavioral changes could be happening. If you think about TikTok and why that's huge, is TikTok has hundreds of millions of users in America alone. So if you're starting your intent and discovery on a TikTok search engine, you're going to user-generated or brand-generated content, you're going directly to that website. You're skipping Google. I don't think that's wise because Google can help you fact check and validate and just get a deeper perception and understanding about a business if it's legit or not. But customers are moving away from Google in the buying stages, and they're going towards the Instagrams and those social networks as well. Gartner's predicting at least a 25% decline in Google search traffic over the next 12 months. That's huge. We're talking about tens of billions of searches disappearing overnight, right? Tens of billions of searches per week. It's huge. That's a big chunk of the business. Imagine if Google declined double digits. Now, some of the things that you have to consider is that content quality may not be enough, meaning your EAT score and making this content and this general content is not helpful anymore because these AI search engines, they already have a catalog of these articles in their cache of parameters that they can write a similar response based off of that general information. Where we're seeing ChatGPT traffic coming to Zima Media is from our technical guides on Google Analytics and tracking, from our images, and also our expertise. So this expertise one is very important. Writing an article about how to tie your shoes doesn't mean you're an expert, okay? That has zero value in terms of what you may want to achieve as your business. If we're starting to see the evolution of search and where voice is starting to have a dialogue with you and you can get a whole transcript afterwards so you can go about your day and go buy groceries instead of just spending your time on Google with 25 tabs open. I know you guys have 25 tabs open right now. You need to close them before your computer crashes. Please do it. That gives me anxiety. Now, some predictions over 12 months is we know that Google is starting to decline in result. More AI-driven features on Google likely will help them turn into an answers engine. If you are already using Gemini and you haven't discovered ChatGPT, I don't know how long they'll stay afloat while there's alternatives in the marketplace that already offer a better tool. But the free aspect of this is huge. Whoever has the better tool and it's free is likely really going to dominate the market. But as we talked in this another video here, having a paid plan is important because it is also going to help alleviate the strain and the dependence on ads that Google may have, because that is also something that wane people's tolerance into how many ads you can see. And the shift to AI engines is important, but this is just like a Siri if you ever utilize it and they ever figure out how to make it work good, and this Apple Intelligence, which is never going to come to our phones. But from an SEO perspective, you have to look at the changing tides here. You have to create the expert content. You have to be found by search engines. And what Zima Media did is we started rolling back some of the technology infrastructure. The Googles of the world, those search engines may have been clever in how they find and crawl your website. Content delivery networks, Cloudflares, different hosting providers. We don't know if they're adequate or inadequate because we've been seeing some mixed results with different hosts. So we're really rolling back the technology and seeing how the market is going to develop and catch up with these search results, because you want to capture the AI search results. If you're already getting AI search results, that is likely going to grow, because remember, 26 years ago, Google was in a garage. It had a little piece of the internet, and now they've cataloged hundreds of trillions of pages, and they're a huge part of the internet. But are they going to be here for the long haul is the question. As we're starting to see DeepSeek and other AIs going locally, you can start having a copy of the entire internet on your computer. So is interacting with the internet going to be something that's going to be necessary? How current does that copy of the internet need for you to build articles or different sorts of scripts or resources that you require in your business operations? Maybe not much. I would say most people need general AI engines, general response engines that can give them those zero-click results to get them moving forward in whatever that task is. And if you do need access to the internet, well, this is where Google could be very valuable, because they do have their Maps infrastructure, they have their Google Business infrastructure, and they have these little components that are in a closed garden of Google. So we're likely seeing a decline in Google. You have to look at your technology. So tell me what's working for you in 2025. Are you in the I'm seeing great results from Google camp, or are you in the I'm losing results from Google camp?